when Jackie, so Jackie gets shot,
Mm-hmm.
right? And how long in the relationship does he get shot? He gets shot in the club.
No,
So
no,
he didn't get shot in the
he
club.
didn't get shot in the club. No, he got hit in a crossfire
But it was outside, but not
outside,
inside.
outside of a bar.
Outside of a bar.
Outside
got
of
it.
a bar. The bar where his neighborhood, 22nd and Catherine,
Got it.
was a bar, and his friend Earl's brother Stevie had a beef with guys, I think from Taylor Street or somewhere.
Mhm.
And it's all South Philly. This is all South Philly. And so Stevie was in the bar, and Jackie sees that they're there, and Jackie told Stevie to wait. He would go handle it. He went out there and tried to start. I think it was Carpenter Street or Taylor Street. Somebody. He started talking to him, and Stevie comes out, hides trees, and starts giving out wolf tickets, and one thing led to another, and he got shot. Jackie got shot, got hit in the arm. But Jackie, when Jackie got hit, it went in his arm and ripped through his lung, ended up in the well of his neck, but he was able to drive himself to the hospital. Stevie became paralyzed.
Mm.
Yeah, he was.
Were you there that day?
No, I was home. I was at my apartment, but somebody called. He had just left, and somebody called and said, Jackie's just been shot.
Interesting. So Stevie ended up paralyzed. Jackie ends up shot, and Jackie spends some time in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then I hear a story about when Jackie was in the hospital, he asked you to watch money for him, and you end up spending some of that money. Is that true?
Yes, partially. So he left this money in my drawer in the apartment. He told me if I needed, I could use it. But I hadn't touched it, and so it was like $1,000. It wasn't. And so Pam, when he gets shot, I'm an emotional person.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pam says, well, and Pam and Large like, oh, y'all should go, why don't you go to Atlantic City? Resorts had just really opened. It was the first casino in Atlantic City. And so it was like, oh yeah, I got that money in the drawer. So I took like $500 and went to Atlantic City. And then he gets out the hospital, he's between my place, his place, whatever. And I guess it dawns on him that he left some money in the apartment. He said, where's the money? I said, well, I used some of it. He said, you used some of it? He said, that's the first time he called me a bitch. I was like, you call me a bitch. You spent my money on me. You told me I could use it. So yeah, that's what happened.
So how much you spent?
Very minor. $500.
You spent $500 on, girl?
I don't even remember. There was no money though.
There was no money back then. $500 was a lot of money. It's not like now.
Privilege.
He just wanted to fuss. That was
okay. So, all right, that happens,
mm-hmm.
And then where do we go next in the situation?
Well, we would go in and out. We would go in and out because, see, when he got shot, prior to him getting shot, I had never seen him high. And he told me about it. He told me about what he went through years earlier and, how he wasn't getting money because he was getting high, because he was doing stuff. He got himself together and realized he could, make money. And so, but we were in and out. And so we would be off and on. And that summer, the next summer, 79, that's when Large died suddenly. Large died, I think it was August 5th. Of 79, Large suddenly died of a heart attack, but they thought maybe somebody had poisoned him because he was only 31 years old. He had just turned 31 in July. He died in August.
Wow.
And so it was like panic, Pam called and we were at my place. Jackie and I jumped up. We go to the house and the body was still there and it was just a mess. So they're running around trying to collect, the money because people die, go to jail, people think they don't have to pay. So they run around. So now it's my birthday. And he would have somebody pick me up from work every day. So when his friend Bob comes to pick me up from work, I was like, well, where is he? I haven't seen him. I didn't even talk to him that day. So Bob said, I think he's over Earl's with us. So I said, I'm going over there. He said, no, don't go over there. So I said, I'm going over there. I haven't talked to him all day.
Mm-hmm.
So we go over there, and he's standing out there. The Mexican sombrero hat on, the oversized shirt, and he loved them. I guess they're called Dickie pants now with the pockets. They got like cargo pants.
Cargo pants.
He
Okay,
loved
yeah.
that. Yeah, he loved when he had a lot of pockets, and he always kept Larry and Barry undershirts. So
Those are guns.
2 guns, yeah. So I get out the car, I go over, and I say, hey, he said, hey. I said, I didn't talk to you today. He said, Brown, look, we got to get this money. He said, look, just go home. I'll be there later. So I was like, all right, but I was angry, spoiled.
Yeah, but you wasn't talking like that. Don't give a, you know.
No, I
Can you
was.
bring me down? I'm gonna close my eyes. Bring
No,
me down.
no, I just said, I said, I haven't talked to you all day. Like, it's my birthday. He said, yeah, I know, Brown, but go home. Like, we got to get this money. We got money out here. We got to get it. He said, I'll call you later. I'll come by later, whatever. I'm like, all right. But as I walked away, he had this thing about this. So as I go to walk away from him, I turn around and I look at him. I see him. I look at him. I see the gun. I never was afraid of Jackie with guns. He had him guns around the whole time. I never was afraid. And when I went to take the next step, I'm hit.
What made him shoot you? Like,
well, he never would say that. See, you got to understand. When we went through this thing about the shooting, because I could never understand, how do you shoot me? He said, Brown, I didn't mean to shoot you, but you did shoot me though. He said, but I didn't mean, I just shot too straight. He even called my mother. He's high. He called my mother and he said, Miss Brown? She said, yes. He said, I just shot your daughter. She said, is she alive? He said, yes. She said, where is she? He said, they just took her to Graduate. That was the closest hospital. And she said, okay. And she told my father, get up to the hospital. He just shot your daughter. Listen, if he was here now, he'd tell you, I didn't mean to shoot her. So that went on for a while until and I just finally said, he said, why can't you just understand? I said, I will never understand how you pulled a gun on me. I'll never understand that.
I'm going to ask that though, like, because I could see it, right? Do you blame it that he was, because they said that he was high on prescription medicine. Was he high on drugs too?
He was high. At that time, I think he was still taking the pills because they had given him the pain pills.
Yes.
But he told me years ago he used to take the Red Devils and stuff like that. He had those. He was taking those. He was high.
Got it.
He didn't like a speed high. He did like, what's that stuff called? He used to like Monster. But that would put him in a different thing. There was no excuse for that. I just left it alone because we could never agree.
Got it.
So I decided, ain't no need. But what I did tell him was, when my son was born, we got in an argument, and I told him, I said, one day I'm gonna tell my son what you did. No, you won't. Yes, I will. Who else gonna tell him? You think I'm gonna let somebody in the street tell him what happened to his mother? He got to know. I'm gonna tell him.
Do you honestly think in your heart, like when you think in retrospect, that he meant to shoot you, or you think that you could say, well, Flip, G Money, he was high. When people get high, or do you think that because you like a no nonsense?
I will
person.
Never.
Yeah, you don't, because it look like
I'm not going to give him a pass on it. I can't give him a pass.
He said he shot too straight. That sounds crazy.
He was crazy.
That sounds crazy.
He was seriously. He really believed. But when you high,
right,
you gonna believe what you gonna believe. I mean, he showed me how to shoot. He could shoot. I know he could shoot. But you shoot that well, you didn't need to hit me.
Exactly.
I'm walking away from you. I was down the street. I wasn't like up on him. Probably, thank God, because they told me. So the bullet went in and out. I was in the hospital a few days, but then I did physical therapy at the University of Pennsylvania Hospital. When I did physical therapy at the University of Penn Hospital, they told me, they said, were you athletic? And I said, yeah, I used to run. They said, that was a good thing. Because my muscles were so strong in my leg, but it went straight through. I could have lost my leg. I could have bled out. You know how many people have died from hitting an artery in their leg and they bled out? There was no excuse for that. And this is what I never did. I never said, oh, okay, all right then. No, I never did that. I just left it alone because we're not going to ever agree on this.
Right.
And so we were the type with each other. He didn't nag me. I didn't nag him. When we would sit down and talk about subjects that were serious, we sat. He sat across from me. I said, and we talked. It was no heated discussion. I mean, it could be some very serious topics, and we, it wasn't heated or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody would come to the decision of, oh, okay, all right, and that's it, and we just leave it at that, and it might not ever come back up again. So the shooting never really came back up.
Mm. So that moment,
Sorry, G.
was that the moment for you that was like the Malik moment when you were in the hospital and Malik was like, oh, you have another baby? Was that the moment for you with Jackie now? Is that
No.
the first time that you?
No.
Oh, so prior to that, you guys already had some kind of
No,
little issues?
Jackie and I were different. Jackie was a total different person than Malik.
right.
When that happened, I was hurt. I was embarrassed. I wanted to just disappear. You know what I mean? Like, so quite naturally, we're not together. He's going his way, I'm going mine, but he would check on me from time to time or have people check on me from time to time. And one of those times I told him I wanted to go away. That's how I was just embarrassed. You know what I mean? And so he said, well, what do you want? I said, I want to go out to LA because I had my friends. So he said, all right, So I went out. I came out LA and stayed for about 2 weeks. And then I came back home. And then eventually we started talking again.
Okay. But that was the first time or something that was that drastic for you and him to come.
Oh, yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
What made you move on and not? What made you forgive him? What was it about him that you got shot? You look like you're headstrong. Like, nah, I got shot. I don't care. You shot me.
Mm-hmm.
What made you get
Love.
past it?
Crazy love.
So, so love does
Crazy love, man. Listen, I'll never love like that again. Somebody asked me that recently.
Tell us about.
Would
that.
you like to have a relationship like you had with Jackie? Hell to the no.